All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm here today because this morning I really feel like it's important for us to talk about something that's going on in this world today that is crucial. I mean, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy the way things are going on in this world right now. I'm not even usually, I come on live in the mornings, Tuesdays and Wednesdays sometimes, but it's really disheartening with the way that things are going on today. I know, really, in this world today, we all got our own struggles. We all got our own things that we're trying to work through. We are it's just tough. Everybody's got something going on in the world, and some of us need more help than others. I get that. Thank you for coming in, y'all. I don't have my glasses today, so I will say I apologize if I can't read everybody's statements. I just wanted to jump on for a little bit and really just have a conversation. Thank you for the heart me, though. I can see that. Appreciate it. Everyone have a blessed day. We do have we just have a couple people in the room. I just got on. So I do hope everybody has a blessed day. And I hope that people realize what that means for some people. Some people are not having a blessed day because personally, I feel like the world is out of control. A lot of us out here and we're trying to make it, and we try to tell ourselves that we're offering something positive to the world and we have power and we're in control and we are being kind and loving and doing all the things, but secretly behind, in the aftermath of things, behind the scenes, we're not. And having control over someone is it can it's not a good thing in my opinion. Now you may say, okay, I'm gonna have control over this person, and I'm gonna be the leader because I'm the man of the house and I'm the one that should be running everything. But you know what? That's not the case. That's not how things go. That's not how you should treat people. You should treat people with respect. You should treat people with love. You should treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, isn't that the instruction we were given? So I'm not understanding why that's so hard for us. Because when you don't treat people right and you do dirty things in the dark, trust me, it's going to come back to you in some shape, form, or fashion. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Michelle. So divine. I appreciate it. So this morning, I am heavy on my heart in the word control. Yeah. I'm having trouble with that this morning. Thank y'all for joining. I hope y'all can engage with me on this conversation. Now, when someone has control over any area of your life, it might be in work because I talk a lot of business. It might be personally. It might be over your kids. But the fact that you have control over them, like I saw this documentary on the DeBarge family, how much struggle they had. And a lot of people always looked at it as they had it easy. They had it, it was an easy life for them. But it wasn't. It wasn't easy at all. They had a very tough life if you listen to their story. But when someone controls you and you allow them to control you and you allow them to, hey, you just kind of like the person that doesn't speak a lot. You're the person that doesn't get into the conversation a lot. You're kind of like the submissive one, always making up, always making things right, always, being the one that's bending so things stay comfortable, so things continue to work for everybody, so everybody stays happy. I'm not going to push the limits. We're going to go your way. Because some people don't know how to accept other people's opinions because they always, one, think they're right. So that continues to allow them to believe that they're in control. And when you give people that kind of power and control over you by you not speaking up for yourself and by you not letting your word be heard and your say be heard, you're giving them that control. And as long as they have it, they're going to use it to their advantage until you start pushing back. As long as you give them control, they're happy, the world is happy, the relationship is good, the business is running fine. Like I worked with someone before and they said, okay, well, I'm not going to, they were happy, but when they found out one of their major control responsibilities was taken from them, they turned into the worst person to work with or to talk to deal with, until they finally got over the fact that they were no longer in control. And that was just that. That control is something else. So when you are given a position of authority over people, whether you're a VP, whether you're an owner, whether you're a friend, a husband, a marriage, anything in life, be careful how you use your control. Be very careful how you use your control, because it can be good and bad. You've got to be fair in your decisions, and you've got to make sure that people understand. Okay, if this decision is not favorable to me, y'all, I'm outside. If this decision is not favorable to me, what do I do? Am I going to handle it? Am I going to deal with it? Am I going to get mad? What do you do when there's a decision made and someone has authority over you and you don't like it? Do you try to understand it, or do you just get mad and throw a tantrum, and then everybody has to suffer because you're not happy with that decision? What do you do? I don't know, you all. I'm just really struggling today with all the decisions that are being made. I don't feel comfortable with where we're going in this world, and all the news has different people. Especially a certain person out there that has abused the control and power that God has allowed him to have, and when it's become too much, it's now, hey, all of you, all the things that people get away with, it will come to the light. It's not like you're going to just keep on doing what you're doing and nobody's ever going to find out, no matter how you hide it. Okay, no, you can hide it and hide it and push it back. And those people that have power, I mean, you can, unfortunately, end somebody's life. You can do all those things, but eventually it will catch up with you. You may have enough money in this world to hide it for a long time. It's sad. It's very sad. And I'm so glad that there are more and more people that talk to us about mental health, mental wellness, emotional health, because there's some people that are struggling out there and they don't have anybody to talk to. They don't have anybody listening to them. Yes. So if you've come in the room, engage with me if you can, and let's kind of talk this out a little bit. And just tap the screen for me today. Just tap the screen for me. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Like I said, I don't have my glasses today, so I can't read too much of the screen. But when you have control over somebody, or you give somebody control, everything's perfect. But when you get to a point to where you start recognizing they feel like they're losing control, because now you're giving your opinion and you're making some decisions on your own. You're spending time with other people. You're helping other departments or different areas. Then they believe that, okay, I see this person is doing something else. I'm losing some of the control I have. They'll realize they don't have impact on some of the decisions you make. That's why I tell people, be careful when you are engaging in interviews, because relationships aren't just close marital relationships. Relationships are all over the place. It could be your friends, it could be your teachers, it could be your boss, it could be your business partners, it can be the people you are renting from. It can be so many different areas that we have to be very mindful of. And we don't think about that. These are relationships where you can have control together and make decisions together, or one person may feel like, I'm the alpha, I'm going to have more control. And then you got to sit back and watch people. Like I say in the interview, you got to interview that company just like that company is interviewing you, right? You got to sit back and watch people and see who they are, understand who they are. The fun is fun. And when we first have a relationship, we first start into a relationship, it's going to always be fun. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. It's always fun, isn't it? It's always exciting. It's always new. I get a new desk, or I get to buy a new dress. I'm going to a new restaurant. I'm meeting new people. Everybody's happy because you haven't been through anything yet. You haven't disagreed on anything yet. You haven't seen how that boss acts when the report's not turned in on time. You haven't seen how that partner or that person you're dating acts when they don't have the ability to move like they want to move. Maybe they don't have money and they turn into a different person because they pout and they can't get what they want. Stay around the relationship or ask enough questions to figure out, who am I really dealing with? So when I engage in people, I'm the one that everybody's like, oh Lord, she gonna ask 1,000 questions. Yes, I am. I'm that one. I'm that one that's gonna ask 1,000 questions. Yes, thank y'all for coming in. I mean, why not? You need to get to know the people that are around you so you can make that choice. Everything is a 90-day probation. I know that's just a business way of looking at it, because every transaction you're either going to lose something or you're going to gain something. You're going to lose something or you're going to gain something. Understand what you're going to gain. Understand what you're going to lose. People like to give us these little tags, men and women. Oh, you just trying to be greedy. You're trying to have this. You're trying to get the gold digger. Or you're trying to use that woman and you're not being fair. Loser, like the man isn't right. You have to understand what you're dealing with before you get all in. And some people are really good at it. They'll put that pretender, they'll put that facade, they'll put up that this company is perfect, making lots of money, this is the greatest position you're ever going to have. Whatever the situation, look at the situations in your life. Don't ignore red flags. Don't put it off as, okay, well, it'll get better. It won't get better if it ain't got better. If you don't see where it's going to get better, if you don't see the evidence thereof it getting better, that's like letting somebody borrow some money and they don't have a job. How they going to pay you back? I know they need the money, but you know what? What is it that you need that this money can buy? Don't try to control me and tell me I need some money because I'm out of a job right now. Okay, I understand. Understand why that person's out of a job. If you're out of a job because you went to your place of business and you cussed everybody out because you got mad because of a decision that you couldn't control, you deserve to be out of a job. Now you want to come and take my resources from my family because you can't afford what you done worked yourself out of. Don't let somebody else's control ruin your life. And that can happen in lots of different ways. Some ways it's more damaging than others, but it can happen in lots of different ways. Understand who you're dealing with. I worked for a company one time and they made it seem like this was the greatest company on earth. You get a shiny office, you're out there by the window with a great view. I had my own account, I had my own card, I had everything. It was great. You get to travel, you get to do what you love. I thought I was going to love that job. And for a little bit, I did love the job until the truth came out. They weren't really supporting me, they were supporting themselves. And they needed somebody to pretty much be the fall guy. But that fall guy package that they put together for me, okay, it looked like what I was looking for. Until I got to the location, and it felt like Alaska every day. I didn't have the control of developing the projects like they thought I was going to have, like they told me I was going to have. All the things that I thought I was going to be were limitations. They just needed me. Y'all see, I ain't going to say it. They needed me in the seat to balance out the scales for them at the level that they were hiring me in at. Okay, I fell for it. But it was that way, their way of controlling me. So, a lot of times when people are controlling you, whether it's in business or relationships, they are giving you all the beautiful things that they feel like, oh, it's going to make you happy. Why wouldn't she be happy with this? Why wouldn't she be happy with this? Right? Because I'm giving her what she wants. That's why people ask you all the time. They sit and have this conversation with you. What's going on? Oh, but there's the truth. You will be happy for me whether I say no or yes. And if I say no, you're going to start trying to understand, okay, well, what happened? You accepted this last time. You said this is what you wanted. What happened? They will allow you to change your mind and let you be okay with that. Y'all keep tapping the screen for me. Great conversation today. I'm hoping more people come in and join. They'll be happy for you. They won't make you feel bad. They won't force what they want on you. I had one time somebody gave me a car. I didn't want that car. That wasn't the car that I asked for or the car that I wanted. So you giving me a car that I don't want and can't drive because I didn't know how to drive that particular car. Excuse me, you guys. What's the point in you giving it to me if it doesn't benefit me? That's what people with control do. They give you what they want you to have. And then if you get upset now, I didn't say I didn't want the car in a mean way. I said, what did I say? I was like, well, but I can't drive this particular car. And I don't have to feel like I need to look good with everything. Well, you can learn. Okay, but what's the point in making me learn something I had no interest in learning? And I told you in the beginning that I couldn't even drive this type of car. What's the point in, you're not helping people, you're trying to control somebody. You're trying to have your way and you're trying to act like you did them a good service, which turned out to not be a good service, and then you're mad when they don't want to accept it. So guess what happened? It sat there. It just sat there. Didn't do anybody any good, and you wasted money in that way. God, I had this on there, y'all. And you wasted all that money for something that I truly could not use because you wanted me to have that. No, that wasn't good. That's not good. You have to really understand, okay, in this 90-day period, while people are trying to assess who you are, you really assess who they are, especially in business, because you at that point, you can walk away. In 90 days, you're still in your training period. If there's something you don't like, you have to say something about it and watch them react. How are they gonna react? Are they gonna appreciate you bringing it up? Are they gonna improve their processes and services? Is that person going to be grateful that you said something? Or are they just going to be mad, or they're just going to dismiss you? Are they going to act like you're not in the room, stop inviting you to meetings, hey, we're not going to happy hour together anymore? How are they going to react to you? You've got to start, you guys, let's open our minds. Let's open our eyes. Let's open our spirits to see what's behind the veil. Excuse me, I'm out here outside enjoying this beautiful Texas weather. What's back there? What's under there? Do you see this beautiful person inside and out, or do you see a beautiful person outside and a monster on the inside? What's there? Do you see somebody lying to you and thinking you don't know that they're lying? What's there? We got to open our eyes. We've got to pay attention. We've got to... And those of us that find ourselves being the one that's controlling, don't be afraid to get some help. Somebody told me one time that black people, people like me don't get help. Why not? Why not? And you don't have to go necessarily to a professional, but you do have to talk to somebody. You've got to let out those things that are suffocating you from the inside out. I just recently heard a story on Club Shay Shay where Kale had all these things going on inside of him that he finally got to the right person to help him, and it released all that pain, all that negative energy, all those monsters, all that ugliness that had been weighing him down and he couldn't figure it out. When you constantly have a lot of people around you, that means you got a lot of spirits around you. Because everybody has a spirit. You're a living spirit. Everybody. Every single person walking around here has a spirit. And what kind of spirit is that? And when you got to be careful who you're touching, who you're around, who you're talking to, who you're listening to, who you're paying attention to, who you let come to your house, who you let your children play with, who you are connected with at your job. Recognize who people are. Don't allow yourself to just go all in because you're the team player. You're the socialite. You're the friendly one. Because you might not be strong enough to be that person in all those capacities very long. Because there are some people out here that look like they got it all together. And you go to their house, they don't have nothing. You sit down and talk to some of these people, they're so broken. You sit down and interview with folks and you feel like, okay, do I really want to be here? No, you really don't, because this is not the place to be. And you talk to some of the people in your interview while you're waiting in the break room or waiting in the lobby. Hey, how do you like this? The reception is usually there or somebody greeted you. Just ask them for their honest opinion and just listen. This goes across the board, everybody. This goes across the board. I want y'all to think about different situations that you have been in. And it could be even your parents. Listen to how your parents talk to you. Listen to how they talk to each other. Just because you're your mother's child doesn't mean you have to do everything your mother did or does. Just because your mother put up with certain situations doesn't mean it's right. Just because your father graduated from a certain college doesn't mean it's the best place for you to go. Now, you might get favor if he graduated and it has some kind of influence in a positive way. And some of the things that people have put into you and some of the controls they have in your life are positive controls. They're things that are going to benefit you, things that are going to make you a better person. So I'm not saying it's all wrong, but my heart is leaning towards let's watch and see who people really are. Are they trying to truly help you out of genuine love, or are they trying to soul bond you to keep them under their control because there's something missing in their life and they've got to have somebody there? And they're willing to do whatever it takes to make you happy, to bring you into their life so they can control you and keep you under their thumb. That's not love. We got to recognize, what does love look like? That's not love. If I can't give you my opinion and you accept it and appreciate it without getting mad, whether it's good or bad, that's not love, you know? Love is patient. Love is kind. You know that? Being hurt doesn't mean that you love me. Now, do we get hurt sometimes because we're wearing our heart on our sleeve? Absolutely. Oh, they didn't like my work. That felt bad. Okay, yeah, it feels bad when something doesn't go right. And it's not always the other person's fault. So that's why I say we need to figure out how to help ourselves also. We can't just go on a tangent because somebody felt something negative about us. Because oftentimes they say the truth hurts. Good morning. Good morning. The truth does hurt. The truth is painful. But you have to tell the truth to other people, and you have to be honestly start with yourself and be true to yourself. And I'll tell you a story. I applied for a job one time, and I know I wasn't quite qualified. And I was going to get all the benefits of what I thought was great. It was the pay. Everything was perfect. But honestly, I knew in myself it was a learning curve. It was a little bit of a learning curve, but I still felt like, okay, I can do this. This is going to be great. I thought I was a good candidate. But if I was truly honest with myself, I didn't get that job because I knew I was not the best candidate. Y'all hear me say I was a good candidate. I can learn quick, but they didn't need somebody that can learn quick. They needed somebody that knew it right then. And so I didn't get the job. I didn't get the promotion. I felt like I could do it. But if I'm honest with myself, y'all, I was disappointed. I didn't get mad. I knew at the end of the day, I wasn't the best candidate. So I can't go back and be mad. Oh, I'm mad at y'all because y'all didn't give me the job. I was here longer. Y'all could have hired me and taught me. That's not what they needed. That's not what they needed. So you've got to really be mindful of situations you put yourself in. Just look at yourself and decide, was this something I actually could have been better at? Or is it something they're just being funky with it? Because some people will not like you just because they don't like you. And it's okay. You ain't got to be friends at work. And you can choose your friends out of work. You don't have to be at the happy hours. You don't have to always have some people around you. Sit with yourself and be with yourself and learn extra skills if you didn't get the job because you know you needed something else. Or you can always change friends. Now, those relationships can be a little tougher because it's kind of hard to say, friend, I'm walking away from you. Because you got those friends like I had those friends. And if y'all just come and tap the screens for me this morning, I greatly appreciate it. I have those friends, and you always got that one. That one. They got to feel like they're the leader of the pack. Why does there have to be a leader of the pack? Why can't we all just be equal? Why does somebody have to have the control and make the decisions about where we're all going, what we're all going to do, how we're going to spend our time, what we're going to eat? That to me, that doesn't feel like a friendship at all. That feels like somebody that is in need of control. But then once you start talking to people and before you decide that you're going to be their official friend, you got to ask them and talk to them. Listen to their stories. Listen to what they've been through. Because when you start listening to stories about what people have been through, that's how you know that begin to understand who they are. That's how you begin to understand who they are. I don't have my glasses, y'all, today, so I'm sorry if I'm not catching everybody, and I appreciate those of y'all that are coming in here, and if you're making comments. I see some stuff going on the screen, so thank you so much. That's if you say, okay, well, this seems like a nice person. Let's say you met them through another friend, and then you start seeing, okay, well, they have issues, and you start honestly talking to them because you like the person, you think they may be a good friend. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Being number one gifter badge on my team is that Mika. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You know how you meet somebody and you be like, okay, well, let me see how this goes. I don't have anybody that I can truly call my friend except my Lord and Savior and my husband. In that order. God and family. Right? My kids don't know my whole life story. My husband, my father God does. And then my husband, I tell him all the different things about me. But that's a different level than with my children. He's part of my family and my family. My husband and my family. The Lord said, and you're dealing with the devil. And unfortunately, it had happened to my life for 11 years. It didn't start out that way because I didn't actually, as long as I was doing the get along to get along. And I wasn't dealing with no abuse, but it was not a healthy relationship. But as long as you're doing to get along and you're happy and you're being, you're not paying attention, everything's perfect. Everything is fine. But once you start sitting back and thinking, okay, friend, where did this go wrong? You start realizing, well, that wasn't you at all. The things that you're doing are not the things that I'm doing. Those are not the things that are making me happy in my life. So I need to separate myself. And that's what you start doing. You start weaning yourself off what you are not aligned, you're not happy with. That's why a lot of people quit their jobs. Matter of fact, that's why I quit one of my jobs. I'm a person that I will stay with you and be loyal and ride it out. Until I realized that, okay, the last job that I was at, there's too much red tape, there's too much deception, there's too much going on. And I had been at that company for 13 years. Same thing in my marriage. We're going through these motions, and in the beginning you're loving, and then you start seeing, we actually don't have that much in common. So I start asking questions, and I start making my own decisions, and I start living a life for me and not everybody around me, and not for you, and not in a relationship, and in anything you do, you've got to make decisions for you, whether it's for business, personal, family, whatever it is. Don't live your life to make everybody happy and you're miserable. So that job I left, I was no longer happy. I started seeing exactly how things worked. Because I had started simply as data entry and went up the ranks and to the point where I'm like, this place is crazy. This is not going to work for me no more. And when you figure out and find out, this is not going to work for me anymore. I'm not doing this. You have a right to depart. Exit left. Remove yourself. Say no. You have that option. Yes. Are y'all with me today? Come on. Somebody keep tapping that screen for me. Because I know I'm saying the right things. I know I am. And I want y'all to realize, hey, come on. we have got to start paying attention. Everybody in this world is trying to gain something from you, because that's what relationships are about. A company wants to have a relationship with you because they want to gain an employee. A man wants to have, or a woman wants to have relationships with you because they want to gain a partner, or they want to have whatever it is you have. They think you're beautiful. They want your body. They want to speak to you. They want your intellect. They want your influence. They want something from you. Pay attention and figure out what it is that they feel like that they're going to gain from you. And in turn, what is it that you can gain from them? Relationships are about gain in every way. Because nobody's going to hang around you and you don't, let me say, if you have nothing to offer, you don't have as many people wanting to come. Successful people are very influential because they have money, they have influence, they have things they can offer you, opportunities they can give you. So people are drawn to that success in you. And that's why a lot of people that are successful, they feel so weighed down. They feel so much pressure because they spend their lives giving their energy and their time and their things and their love to other people. It's exhausting. I get it. It's so exhausting. But some people do things to you in your giving and in your heart and in your love that make you bitter, because you almost start giving to the wrong people. You get bitter, you get frustrated, you get angry. And it takes a lot of praying, and it takes to have the right people around you praying with you to help you overcome those moments of pressure, of struggle. Until you just say one day, like I did with the job, I'm out. One day, like I did with the friend, that I felt like, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. I thought this was something else, and it's not. I gotta go. And when you do, and when you cut it off, you guys, everybody, when you cut off something that you have discovered is not in line with your beliefs and the way you want to live your life, cut it off and don't look back. You're not mad. You're not angry. Matter of fact, you're happy. You wish them well. It's just time that you go a different direction. Everybody's not coming on your journey, and in fact, you're not letting everybody come. And that's okay. In order for you to be successful in things in your life, you've got to make the hard decisions to just say no. I'm going a different direction and you can't come with me. You can't come with me. Because I can't be successful with you on my boat. I tell y'all the boat story all the time. I can't make it. You're weighing us down. We're about to drown. I can't get enough of the water out the boat that you keep pushing into it that's making us sink. I don't want to sink. I don't want to fail. I want to get to my destination happy, encouraged, full of life, energetic, ready for the world. And if it's a job, if it's a person, if it's a troubled child you've been spending your life trying to take care of, whatever it is, let it go. Nobody deserves to have any type of control over you. And you've got to say, how are you going to live your life? Whether that one person is your everything, they're giving you everything, they're doing everything for you, they're being good for you. But what does that look like if that person's no longer there for you? Yes, you allow them to have the control because they're treating you well. You're the queen. You have the best person in your life, and I love that. So when you have to ask yourself, okay, we are so in love. We've got the best relationship in the world. But people that love you bring the best to you. And if that's what they're doing for you, I'm so grateful to hear that. But you still have to ask yourself, what are you doing for you? If that person is no longer here no more, if that job is no longer here no more, if that friend is no longer here no more, because y'all know how this world is going. People are coming and going, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. I cannot see the screen. But y'all understand, everything passes away, right? And if that wonderful darling of a king that you have does not get to enjoy this next day with you, what are you going to do with yourself? How are you going to love on yourself? You're going to be devastated because you put your all into that one life, and that life was not controlled by you. Because you gave your complete control to somebody else. They cherished you, but now they're gone. How do you go on from that? Take care in yourself. It's okay for you to have something else along with that other person, alongside of that job that you ultimately have. What if that company goes bankrupt today and you walk up there and they say, okay, well, we're passing out what they call them, pink slips? I didn't get a pink slip. I just got to go into a room and they said, okay, unfortunately, the doors are closing in this platform, in this department, and you're all laid off. Here's your severance package. Bye. And some companies these days, they don't have severance packages. They don't. These companies are going bankrupt. Matter of fact, I heard one the other day that was going bankrupt. I forgot. I don't know if y'all saw the news. It was just last night. Company was going bankrupt. At least they're telling us ahead of time. But I want y'all to understand, okay, make sure you all are being mindful of yourself. When you go to that job every day, you give them control over your time because you're required to be there. When you enter a relationship, you give some people say it's 50-50. Well, you're giving them half the control of your life because you've entered into a partnership with them. Be mindful of everything. 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 It's okay to have that great, wonderful job, but what happens when that job is gone? Are you going to get a side job? Do you have any other skills? Do you have anything else you can do? These days, it's hard to find a job. I have friends that are very smart and intelligent. It's taking them a year to find a job. It's so competitive. And they say there are jobs everywhere. Yeah, there are jobs everywhere, but if you've been in business for 20 years and you've owned a company for 10 years and you just do these things, when you have your own company for 10 years, they're not looking at that as experience all the time. They're looking for corporate experience. And then even when you have corporate experience, they're now trying to scale back how much they're paying you per hour. You might have been at $50 an hour in the legal field. Now they're trying to give you this little bit like $20 an hour. You may know how to build a house, and in construction, warehouse jobs trying to give you $18 an hour. Are you serious? Imagine how your life is going to change. Learn something for yourself. Learn something for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Don't give anything in this world too much control over you. Not a person, not a job, not a child, not a parent. You have to save you. Because at the end of the day, they say, at the end of the day got to end. You got to figure out what's left for you. What are you going to do? So I had to start making decisions with this in my own self. And let me tell you, I'm starting to feel free. I am a praying woman. I seek my Lord and Savior for answers and direction. And he put people, be a better person. I want to share things that give people life. I always talk about business because I want people to grow. I don't want people to pay for everything, but I do have services that I have to make sure I'm okay too. But I want people to grow. I want people to think about, really, what is it that you need in your life? Where are you going? Are you only existing in the world of others? Y'all, I hope it don't rain on me out here. It was nice for a minute. I thought the sun was coming out. Now it got cloudy. Are you only existing in the world of others? If somebody walks up to you today, can you tell them 3 to 5 things that you are doing for yourself? Not the company you work for, because that's for the company. They're making that money, not you. Thank you for coming in. Relationships with your children. You're taking care of your children. Are you teaching them how to be a part of that care, that relationship? Some kids are so unruly these days, they think it's all about them. But are you teaching them how to have a give and take relationship, not just a take relationship? With your parents. Some parents are getting older and then they feel like, okay, well, I'm getting older, you should be taking care of me. Well, we should help take care of our parents. But are we letting our parents know, hey, it's still a relationship to where we have to both give love. You can't expect just because you're getting older that I automatically should stop my life and take care of you completely. No, it still has to be a relationship where we can appreciate each other And it's okay. Y'all keep tapping that screen for me, please. It's okay. You don't let your parents run you crazy. That's all I'm saying. Because everything's a give and take relationship. And if they love you, they don't want to see you worn down. They want to see you happy and full of joy and living your life and moving forward. Your friends, don't let them wear you out. Don't be that one friend that feels like you've got to save the world and fix everybody's problems. Because then you take on everybody's problems and that weighs you down, and then you can't be a positive resource. So realize for you, don't let anything control you in any area of your life. And remember that it's okay to say no. Okay? You don't have to give. Now the Lord says we want to give and help and love on people. But then he doesn't say we got to run ourselves crazy and raggedy to do it. If you don't have it, don't lie and say you have it. If you're not in that good in a good position right now, don't make people think that you're okay. It's okay to not be okay. I'm honest with people. If I don't have it, I'm like, look, I don't have it right now. I am broke, waiting on payday like everybody else. You know? And some people can give you that impression. Some people make you feel like all the time, everything's perfect, everything's fine. You're not fine. You're not perfect. You don't have to be in control. People that feel like they have to be in control have the most miserable lives when they look in the mirror and they're by themselves. And some of them don't even know it. And that's the sad part. They don't even know it. Duck and hiding from themselves. Duck and hiding. That doesn't help you. You can't win like that. You cannot win like that. You can't even be all minds clear. Because you're so busy trying to hide and remember what lie you said to cover up this, and then what did I say to cover up that? And you're just lying to yourself. It is okay to be in a place where you need help. You may be the one giving, loving, always there for somebody, doing the right things, but that gets exhausting. So it's okay. Let go of the control. Let down your guard. You will be surprised how many people love you back. How many people need you. How many people care about you. And I don't mean need you because they want something from you. Need you because they want to see you good. They want to see you happy. They want to see you strong. They want to see your business work. They want to see you getting all the things you need to be strong and healthy. There are people walking around today dressed down to the socks in Gucci, diamonds and bling blinging, and don't have no food in their refrigerator because they out here trying to fool people. I've never been that person. I've never cared that much about anybody's brand or favor. I'm not a starstruck person. Even at my company, when I don't have a ride for work, what I'm saying, look, y'all, I don't have a ride today. But I'm so blessed and grateful that all things in my life are calm right now and patient, and that I can recognize who people are, that I can recognize what it looks like when people are trying to manipulate you. I just call it how I see it. I'm like, okay, you're telling me this project for me, everything in my mind, I'm thinking business, I'm thinking focus. How can I get better? How can I grow more? How can I get to the next level? How can I support someone? And I do it all in a balance, though. I've learned to do that in a balance. I pick my times of the day when I'm going to give to certain things, and when I'm going to love, and when I'm going to support, and when I'm going to show up, and how I show up. You got to create some type of balance. Whether you need to create a schedule intentionally or just start recognizing when people come to you, okay, depends on how they ask you. Some people are so clever. When I'll say this, they're so clever. They'll ask you things in a certain way that sparks your need to give. Right? They'll maybe twist it in a positive way. They say, hey, sis, I know that you like this certain organizations and you support people that do these things like that because you've been through the same thing. Would you mind donating? Okay, so why did you have to say all those things about what you know that I'm tapped into and like before you just ask me to give? How about you just say what you're doing? Because really what you're saying is that I want to control the situation enough to get what I want out of it. Just say what you're doing and ask if I want to be a part of it. All the reasons that I would support it, I already know. You don't have to reiterate that. So just say it. And I don't like when people do that. I hate when they do that because you are trying to manipulate me into giving you what you want. Now to say, hey, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. Don't tell me about the whole organization to convince me. I'm either going to spend whatever it's like, what, $5 a box now? I remember when it used to be $1 a box. But just tell me what you want, and I'm either going to say no or I'm going to say yes. And if I say no, I'm going to honestly tell you why. And if it's because of money, I'm going to say, hey, I don't have any money for that right now. Because it's either $5 box of cookies or $5 dinner that'll last me 2 days. You see what I'm saying? You can be honest with people. Nobody's going to be upset with you. And if they do, what kind of person are they anyway? That's not somebody you want to be connected to or give to or help. Don't get angry with me because I say no. Ironically, it's getting a little chilly out here, y'all. Your no is your no. Your yes is your yes. Be mindful of people that are out there controlling you in a way. If you think about it, everybody has some level of control. Every relationship has a gain and a loss. You're either going to lose some things because you got to compromise. You're going to lose some things that you really thought was good, that you like, and they're going to lose some things they like, but you're all going to gain the benefits of each other's strengths. And that's why you've got to put them on 90-day probation. And for some people, it's less than that because we've been through so much. We don't have 90 days to wait to figure out who you are. I've got about 2 dates and 10 days for you to come clean with me to the truth of who you are. Do you live with your mom? Do your kids still live with you? Do you truly have a car? Does it belong to your friend? Do you have a job that we can work, that you have a job where we're both bringing something to the table? Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are spending time understanding people and situations that you know what to expect. So when you're building your life plan, you're building a plan for everybody to succeed. The whole goal is to succeed in whatever you're doing. You don't build a plan to fail. Nobody does that. You build a plan to win. You build a plan so you all can get to the next level together. I'm not finna be in a relationship in any shape, form, or fashion to where I'm gonna lose. You don't join the losing team. You enter the race because you feel like you have conditioned yourself enough to win. Sometimes you win and sometimes you don't. But that's when you go back to the drawing board and you figure it out and you keep on trying. You don't give up. Now, if it's not truly in you, you might give up. You might say, well, this is not the race I need to be running. Let me find a different sport. Let me find a different person. Let me find a different job. Let me find a different person. Let me find a different job.